Now, let's talk about pulp capping. When it comes now, we have briefly covered the background of development of MTA. And now you can use this material based on solid science. You can use it in indirect pulp capping in one stage, or you can do it in several stages. Leave some decay there, which I do not recommend. What I would like to do is to remove the decay, use a decay detector, and I don't want to leave any decay in here. And if I get a pulp exposure, so be it, no problem. And then after there's no decay in here and there's no pulp exposure, no problem. Then you go ahead and put your MTA in there or your calcium silicate materials. This is a case that it's in our book in chapter 10, and this was given by Dr. Botera. And as you can see here, you have got two teeth that they have decay. And so what happened here, but there was no pulp exposure, so they capped them with MTA, and this is after a year. As you can see here, there's no periapical lesions, and the teeth are responding within normal limits. The thing that you need to know about the indirect pulp capping, there are two factors that they are important for the prognosis of these cases. One is the fact that when you use MTA compared to other materials, that has a positive impact. And the other thing that has a negative impact is the fact that when you have a cavity, that it is on the occlusal distal surface. The prognosis of the cases that they are occlusal, and they are much, much better than the ones that they have cavities on the occlusal distal surfaces. The other thing that these materials are used for is direct pulp capping. And as you can see here, this is a case that was referred to me a number of years ago in a young boy that came to our practice to have root canal therapy. I pulp tested this tooth. It was responding within normal limits. So I just removed the decay, and I ended up with two exposures. I packed them with 2 to 3 millimeters of MTA and then a permanent filling material. And this is after 2 years. As you can see here, there's no calcific metamorphosis, no periapical lesion, and the pulp is responding within normal limits. And this is something that, it's done all over the world, and, millions of teeth have been capped with MTA, and they're just staying normal. This is a study or a case report that was done by Dr. Cohen, his associates from Singapore. And what he did was here, this patient had dents in vaginata. And what he did was he removed the dents in vaginata, and then he capped them after exposure of the pulp with MTA, and then waited for a few months, and then because of orthodontic reasons, he extracted the teeth. As you can see here, this is where the MTA was, and now you get just beautiful layer of dentin in here. This is a higher magnification of the same thing, and you see very, very little inflammation in here. Actually, the odontoblasts are lining up here, and this is the opposite tooth on the contralateral tooth that you see, and this is an artifact. But as you can see here, the same thing happened on the other tooth. This is a case that Dr. George Bogan, a good friend of mine, sent me a number of years ago. As you can see here, there's a large cavity and two pulp exposures. So he packed them, he removed the decay completely, no decay in there, and capped them with MTA. And this is after 6 years. This is after 7. This one is after 16 years, and the last one is after 20 years. George follows his cases for a long, long time. Not only you can use them for teeth with closed apices, you can use them for teeth that they have open apices. This is a case that I did a number of years ago in our practice. This is the pre-op. As you can see here, there's large decay, open apices, so you want to protect the pulp, and that's exactly what I did. And as you can see here, there's almost no roof of the pulp chamber left. But I packed MTA, put permanent filling in there, and this is after 4 years. Again, no calcification. The apices are closed, as you can see here, and the tooth is responding within normal limits. This is something that now is sort of, standard of care.